Interesting enough, making interest not the easiest thing in the world. Interestingly, imagine how much we stress about being perfect. It's insane. There's such a beauty in not knowing what the body will do at times. I know it's super important to perform well and be super beautiful at all times, mentally, emotionally, physically. There is so much success in perfection, and the stress behind that looks so ugly and uncomfortable to every single person going through that anxiety that pours and tears their minds apart. So my clients, they have a lot of anxiety because of that. They suffer because they want to be perfect in a certain area of their lives. And if I have to be perfect because I am a doctor and I am cutting people so that I can create an operation at a heart, makes sense. It's important to be perfect. You shouldn't be doing mistakes at the beginning of the cut and also not at the end and also not in between. But then outside of that job, it's important to be able to be the flexible mind that can let go of that perfectionism. It's hard to do, and that's where the breathing comes in. It's important to understand how to implement a flexibility in your mind and in your breath and understanding how your nervous system personally works. Okay, so your nervous system does react on multiple things. One of those is your breathing. I can have an understanding of it without needing to have a schedule that kills me. A lot of people do breath work before or after falling asleep, before falling asleep, after waking up. And they have this clear routine. If you take that clear routine away from them, they just collapse. Usually, these type of people have a tendency to want to achieve certain goals that lead to what they think perfectionism includes for their sport, for their career, for their relationship. What if there is something that is stronger and more attractive than perfection? What if there is something that feels better than achieving a goal that leads to perfection? What if there is something that is more exciting and is connected to trusting circumstances that you can't control, circumstances that you cannot force, circumstances that you include into the best that you can do without killing yourself because you don't trust yourself. Usually the people that are prone to perfectionism are very anxious too because they feel that they are going to fail, which is an invention of humans, fail if they don't achieve that, and people will not be able to understand what they want to achieve. What if perfectionism also has a root in not feeling understood by your environment, and therefore wanting to do something that makes them and you, yourself, feel understood, admired, respected, status? If my perfectionism leads to a status that creates and doubly multiplies anxiety, your health is going to suffer to a degree that your goal is not going to be achieved long term. So if you understand, let me open the window because I'm getting anxious due to the lack of good air. If your what if your nervous system can access a state of health that that allows excitement, because your nervous system starts to feel excited about not knowing. What if we can heal the nervous system to a degree that your nervous system reacts with excitement to creativity and the unknown? What if you can regulate yourself after a high tone of discipline? What if you know when to push and when to continue without pushing? How does it feel to soften the tissues your in the states where you're not in the high achievement road? So let's say if a high achievement road is your training, and your competition, or the stage, either at work, which can be a normal business work, or a sports related work, or an artist related work. What if your road to high achievement is one understanding of yourself? And what if outside of that road, outside of the training, outside of the job, outside of that office, you can experience the joy of creativity, the joy of not knowing? And this is not something that is supposed to, it's very important. It's supposed to be clear, but I'm struggling to find the words because I didn't write a script. Because I trust that my brain is going to know what to say in relation to a gut feeling that I can only trust because I know how to nurture my gut, how to nurture my microbiome without stress and perfectionism. And then trusting that my biochemistry and my biology is in relation to all the other physical engagements and connections that are going to lead to the right people at the right time with the right information. In breath science, we say that whatever the person is doing outside of the high achievement field, so let's say training sport, however the person is breathing outside of the high achievement environment and discipline, how you're breathing in a state of rest is going to impact your breathing in your achievement way more than the training that you would do at the beginning, trying to change your breath in your discipline. So if you want to achieve a brain that is able to stop thinking and moving into what people call flow or creativity, you need to train your brain outside of the discipline to let go of thoughts, to let go of anxiety, to let go of perfectionism. You need to understand how to play with the body of thoughts, how to play with your emotional relationship to your interpretation of what is going on, so that you can decide what excites you, what relaxes you, what excites you while you relax, where the joy of being like a kid that perceives the world in a playful manner and has the creativity, the approach of creativity to connect logic with knowledge, with life experience, to then understand how to relax, how to fuel your nervous system in your way, your personal way. And that's something that we want to discover together when we do one-to-one sessions. There is something that is more powerful than perfectionism, and that's accessing the joy of being alive. A kid doesn't need to trust himself or herself because the kid knows that he can access whatever he wants or whatever she wants, because there are no limitations to the vision that the kid has. And it's something that you can bring back into your adult mind.